Okay, 6.7 is probability and odds. If you're a gambling man, this lesson is for you.
What'd you say?
I mean, I'm a good gambler.
I'm actually
We're too young to gamble our money, y'all.
This looks like so many others.
It is a lot of definitions. So, hey, focus.
Yeah, but most of these
Guys,
definitions.
This is a lot of vocab. If you don't know the vocab, you won't get the answers right on your homework, your test, or quiz. Got it? Okay. So you have to know the vocabulary, or you will just be clueless as to what they're asking. Okay. The first thing we need to know is what are outcomes. Outcomes are a result of an experiment. You should know that from science class and from other things. You know you get outcomes when you experiment with something.
Yeah.
An event. An event is an outcome or a collection of outcomes. So it can be one single outcome or it can be a whole collection of data. Okay? A whole collection of things. Favorable outcomes are once you specify an event, meaning this. If I want to know what's the probability that it will rain this month, okay, I have now made a specific thing that I want to look for. So a favorable outcome is I am looking that it will only rain this month. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And probability is a measure of the likelihood that an event will occur. So the probability, when you toss a coin, is 50% that you'll get a heads and 50% that you'll get tails. Yes? Okay? The probability of rolling a dice is 1 out of 6 for what number you're going to get. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So there's everything we do in life has a probability that comes with it. You just don't recognize that.
Lovely.
Okay?
The outcomes aren't really, no.
What?
What's it called? Coincidences aren't really coincidences.
No. They're just probabilities really waiting.
Yeah.
Probability of an event is represented by P of whatever event. So when you see this written, it's going to say like P of rain or P of snow or whatever it is that you're looking for. Okay? What you're looking for will be right there in the event spot. So the probability of event, and in your book a lot of times it will say like event A, it will have an A in there, and it will tell you in the directions what A is. Okay? So like probability of A happening is the number of favorable outcomes over the number of possible outcomes. So when we're doing probability of an event, it's favorable over the actual. Okay? Favorable over all the possibilities. So if I want to know, like this says, suppose you roll a die, what's the probability you will roll an even number? Well, how many even numbers are on a dice? 2, 4, 6.
3. Wait. What?
3
Six,
numbers.
buddy.
3 numbers.
Oh.
I said how many even numbers are on
even
a
numbers.
dice?
My bad.
2, 4, and 6.
3.
So there are 3 even numbers. Okay, so if I'm finding the probability of the numbers on a dice,
Oh, okay, I see now.
okay, the probability you will roll an even on the die, okay, it would be like this. It would be 3 over, what's the possible amount of outcomes? 6.
And then you simplify
And
it?
then you simplify it to 1/2. So you have the probability of rolling 50% of the time rolling an even number, okay, or half of the time. Okay, so probability is the number of favorable outcomes, like what you want to happen, over the possible outcomes. Favorable over possible. What you want over what could happen. Okay? What would be the probability in this classroom of me picking a girl to answer a question?
5 out of 6 out of
6 out of 11.
Yeah, so 6 out of 11. And what would be the probability then of me picking a guy to ask a question?
5 out of 11.
5 out of 11. That's how you do probability of an event. It's what you want over what the total options are. Okay? That's the easiest one to remember. You have something called theoretical probability. Theoretical probability is based on knowing all the equally likely outcomes. That's what we just did. It's all likely and equally likely. Everything has an equal chance of getting picked when you roll a dice. Okay? Every number has an equal chance of being rolled. Okay? You guys all have an equal chance that I will ask for you to answer a question. Yeah, you do. So, the theoretical probability is when we're finding the probability of an event. Another type of probability is called experimental probability, and it's based on repeated trials. Okay? It's trial and error. So, experimental probability is the probability of the event that you want to happen, the number of successes over the number of trials. So how many times did it come out positive over how many times did I actually do it? Okay, so it says a miniature golf course offers a free game to golfers who make a hole-in-one on the last hole. Last week, 44 out of 256 golfers made a hole-in-one on the last hole. Find the experimental probability that a golfer makes a hole-in-one on the last hole. How would I set that up?
Wait, hold on.
So
Hold on, I need to read the question.
44 out of the 256 made a hole in one.
Yes.
And so we have to find the
You
experimental
put 44 over 256.
Yes, because I want the number of successes, which was
with the number of trials.
44, over the number of trials, which was, in this case,
56 or
256. Now, what do you think I have to do with that?
Simplify it.
Yeah, how many times does that,
4.
4 goes into both, you're saying?
I'm gonna try it.
Okay. Can anything else go into it, or just 4?
Just 4.
Just 4, so you get 11 over what?
64.
Okay, so you have 11 out of 64 chance of making a hole-in-one
That's not.
on the last hole on that golf course. Those aren't horrible odds,
No.
right?
No.
Okay. Not horrible. Now, here's what we need to discuss about this. If I change that into a decimal, okay, let's say I change it into a decimal, 11 divided by 64, you get 0.17,
That's your chance of getting a.
okay? This tells you your likelihood of it happening.
Out of
You-
1, right?
Out of 1,
Out
yes.
of 1. Yeah.
So if it comes out to be 1, it is certain that it's going to happen, yes?
Yeah.
If it comes out to be 0, it means it is
Not.
impossible. It's not going to happen. If it's 0.17, where does that fall on the line?
That means close to impossible with a small percentage.
Yeah, it's a small percentage because really our line goes like this.
It's
Okay?
saying that it's gonna be like, mostly it's gonna be impossible, but there's a chance. Well, like a really small chance.
So really we're going to base our stuff on a scale like this. Okay?
1.
This would be definite, yeah?
Yep.
Impossible. And then from there we kind of range where it fits in that scale.
It's between 0 and 0.25. So that's
Yeah.
pretty.
So what's the
unlikely.
likelihood of it happening?
Pretty unlikely.
And it's unlikely, okay? So they're gonna call this impossible, they're gonna call this certain,
Oh,
in your book, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Okay, they're gonna call this unlikely, okay? And they're gonna call the middle one, half the time. And then they're gonna call this one likely. Okay? So when they ask you in your book to rate it, you're rating it on a scale like that. Okay? Whatever it falls closer to, you pick.
We'll give you an example, like.
The only time I pick impossible or certain is if it is 0 or if it is 1. If it falls in between these two, it's likely. If it falls in between these two, it's a little over half. Okay? If it falls in between these two, it's a little under half. If it falls between these two, it's unlikely. Does that make sense?
Question.
Yes.
Will they remind us of the choices we have for the?
Well, the chart is on page 307.
Oh. Okay.
So you can change their ours, change. You can flip to there if you need to. Okay. Today you attempted 50 free throws and made 32 of them. Use experimental probability to predict how many free throws you will make tomorrow if you attempt 75. Matthew?
You have to set up a proportion.
Good. So what's my proportion?
32 over 50
32 over 50.
Equals x over 75.
Beautiful. And
Then you have to solve it.
I have to cross multiply and solve, yes?
Yep.
So I get 50x equals
32 times, what is it?
75.
2,400. Divided by
Okay.
50 equals
2,400.
equals 48.
So x equals 48, yes?
Yep, that's your like
That is the,
probability. Like
well, that is the, it says multiply, yeah, okay, so that is,
that's how we will probably.
it is gonna be the same probability, that's the whole point. But this is how many we probably would make. I also wanna know what is the actual probability though. This is how many I would make if the probability stayed the same, what'd you say?
0.63.
How'd you do that?
Divided the top by the bottom.
Okay, can we reduce 32 and 50? Can you reduce it and not put it in decimal form for me? What goes into
Divide by 2.
Okay, and you get
16 over 25.
16 over 25,
I
okay?
can't really reduce that. No, you
Nope.
can't reduce
You
it.
can't reduce that. So you have a 16 out of 25 chance, like for every 25 you shoot, you're probably gonna make 16 is what it's saying. Okay, so when I shoot 75, it should be 16 times 3. Does that give you 48?
Probably.
That's not how many
So it's
have
right.
to
You
use
got it
for
right.
Yeah.
That's how we check it, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. The last thing we need to talk about are terms called odds in favor and odds against. Okay? If something is odds in favor, okay, it's the number of favorable outcomes over the number of unfavorable. So here's the deal. This isn't over the total like the other two. This is what I want over what I don't want to happen. Okay? So, if I want to choose a girl from this class, but I don't want to pick on a guy, it would be 6 over 5. Okay, it's not over the total. It's over what's left over, okay? So odds in favor is what you want over what you don't want. Odds against is flipped. It's what you don't want over what you want, okay? So once again, I want a girl, it's 5 over 6.
No, so wait, I thought they put that more.
The girls have,
It doesn't look right.
if
It
it's
doesn't matter.
odds
So it doesn't
against,
matter.
it's opposite of
Oh,
what I want.
sorry, yeah, I misunderstood.
Okay,
So what you
opposite
want.
one.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I want over what I don't want, what I don't want over what I want. Odds in favor, what I want goes on top.
6.
Odds against, what I don't want goes on top. Okay, and it's not over the total, it's over what's left over. Okay, that one, my juniors mess up the most.
Really?
Okay, yeah, cause they wanna just do it like these other two where it's over everything. So they always mess that one up. So you gotta get that in your head, okay? That's the trickiest one.
Yeah, it seems pretty tricky.
So it says, suppose you randomly choose a number between 1 and 20. Okay? Part A says, what are the odds in favor of choosing a prime number? Odds in favor of choosing a prime number. What do we have to do first to answer that
We have to
question?
find the prime numbers of
We have
1
to
to
decide
20.
how many prime numbers are in 1 to 20.
There's 1, there's 30.
Okay, wait, time.
There's 5.
Is 1 a prime number?
Yeah.
No.
No. What?
1
One could
doesn't
be,
count.
wait, what?
1 doesn't count.
Oh, 1 doesn't count?
Okay, there is 2 a prime number?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
2 times 1 is 2. Is 3 a prime number?
Yes.
Yes. 4?
No.
5?
Yes.
6?
No.
7?
Yes.
8?
No.
9?
No.
10?
No.
11?
Yes.
12?
No.
13?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
14?
No.
15?
Yes.
No.
No, sorry.
16?
No.
Yeah,
No.
no,
17?
yes,
18?
no,
19?
No.
No.
Yes.
Wait,
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Yes. And 20?
No.
no,
No. So how many total are there?
8,
8. Okay, so odds in favor means what I want over what I don't want. If there are 8 numbers, okay,
Minus,
how many numbers are left?
yeah,
12.
12.
Yeah, because 20 minus 8, right?
Uh-huh.
So
And
it's
then
8
we
over
simplify.
12. Simplify that, and what do you get?
Divided by 4 is
Simplify. I do not want
2
decimals.
over 3.
4 goes into both of them?
Yeah.
Yes, 2 over 3. So you have a 2/3 chance of picking a prime number.
Okay.
Okay? What are the odds against choosing a prime number? How would I do that?
20,
Flip it.
oh, 12 over.
Against, you put 12 over
8.
8, so it would be a
3 over 2
over-
ratio.
2 ratio. Okay, you flip
Okay.
it. You would have a 12 over 8 or a 3 to 2 ratio. Okay.
Make that in proper? Oh.
You leave it. Do not divide it out. Do not give me a decimal unless it specifically says give me a decimal. Do not change it into a mixed number. Leave it improper. Got it? Okay, that is what we're working on tonight.
It took me 2